Good morning, children. Today we'll be learning a fresh topic in grammar, that is verbs, finite and non-finite. You've not learned these two types of verbs so far, and this is included in lesson number 9 of Grammar Gear. So let's get going. Let us quickly recap the different types of verbs that you all have learned so far. So there are main verbs. Main verbs are also regular, irregular verbs. If you remember, we had learned this while we were learning transitive and intransitive verbs. Then do, be and have forms of verbs also act as main verbs in absence of the action verbs, right? Then the second type is helping verbs. Now, in presence of main action words, do, have, and be forms of verbs act as helping verbs. And then the third type is models, which are can, could, shall, should, etc. There are many more. Now, main verbs, children, they are regular verbs and irregular verbs. Now, what is the difference between regular and irregular verbs? Regular verbs are those which form their past tense by adding d, ed, or t at the end. So, I have listed here a few examples. Dance, danced, keep, kept, visit, visited, happen, happened, build, and built. Now, irregular verbs are those which form their past tense or past participle by changing a vowel in them. So a vowel changes to form their past tense. For example, come becomes came, give becomes gave, arise, arose, ring, rang, fall, and fell. So this is all about regular and irregular verbs. Now, do, have, and be forms of verbs also at times act as main verbs. When the main action words are missing from the sentence. In absence of main action words, do, have, and be forms of verbs, they also act as main verbs. Here I have listed the different forms of do, have, and be forms of verbs which act as helping verbs in presence of action words in a sentence. So the different forms of do are do, does, did. Then different forms of have, are, have, has, and had. And am, is, are, was, were are different forms of be verb, right? Then models are can, could, shall, should, may, might, and would. Now the purpose of using models in a sentence is they help us to express ability, willingness, possibility, permission, intention. So basically they help us to reflect mood and the attitude of the speaker. Depending upon the function performed by verbs in a sentence, they are categorized into finite and non-finite verbs. Now, finite means bound. Okay, so these verbs are bound by what? They are bound by the person of the subject and the number of the subject and the tense of a sentence. Okay, now by person I mean first person, second person, third person, and by number I mean singular and plural. So verbs which change according to the change in person of the subject, they are finite verbs. Verbs which change according to the singular and plural number of the subject are called as finite verbs. And the verbs that change according to the tense of a sentence are called as finite verbs. So these are the three characteristics of finite verbs. Now let us understand finite verb. What is a finite verb? With the help of examples. A verb that changes according to the time of the action, that is present, past, or future. The number of people doing the action, that is singular or plural. And the person, that is first person, second person, or third person pronouns doing the action, is called a finite verb. Okay, now let's take the example to understand how a finite verb changes according to the tense. Now, I play cricket every day. This belongs to present tense. I played cricket yesterday. This sentence belongs to past tense. So you can see the change in play. Play has changed to played because the tense has changed from present tense to past tense. Now let's see how a finite verb changes according to change in person. I run a mile daily. Now I is first person pronoun. He runs a mile daily. He is a third person pronoun. So run changes to runs. Okay. Now the third change in finite verb is due to change in number of the subject. Okay. Apple is of red color. Here apple is singular subject. So we are using is. This is subject verb agreement. This is called a subject verb agreement. Then apples are of red color. Apples is a plural noun. So is has changed to are. Now just take a look here also. Finite verbs. A finite verb has a subject, someone who is doing the action. For example, I or he. Then a finite verb has a subject with the number singular or plural. For example, with I, jump will be used, and with he, jumps will be used. And finite verb also changes according to the tense of a sentence. Now let's take a look at non-finite verbs. Now non-finite means verbs which are not finite verbs. Okay. So non-finite verbs do not change their forms according to the tenses, number and person used as the subject. They do not take any modals also. They do not perform any action in a sentence. That means they never act as the main verb. They function as a noun or adjective and adverb in a sentence and not as a verb. Not as a verb here means not as the main action verb. For example, I found his office at a walking distance. And the second example is he will find his office at a walking distance. Now if you observe, the first sentence is of past tense. I found. Found is the past tense of find. Okay, so I found. Now, when past tense changes to future tense, he will find. Will find belongs to future tense. Okay, he will find his office at a walking distance. So, if you observe, walking remains the same, but found has changed to will find to agree with the tense of the sentence. So, here, found and will find are finite verbs because they are changing according to the change in tense. But walking remains unchanged, unaffected by the change in tense. So walking here is used as non-finite verb. In the above examples, there are two verbs in each sentence. In the first sentence, it is found and walking. And in the second sentence, it is will find and walking. The verb found changed to will find, but the verb walking remains the same in second sentence. Hence, the verb found and will find are finite verbs, whereas the verb walking in both the sentences is a non-finite verb. So, if you just take a look at this picture, verbs are classified as finite and non-finite verbs. Non-finite verbs are further classified as participles, gerund, and infinitives. So children, what do we conclude? That non-finite verbs are verbs that remain unchanged or remain unaffected by change in person of the subject, whether the person is first person, second person, or third person. They do not change. They also remain unaffected by change in number of the subject. Whether the subject is singular or plural, the non-finite verb will remain the same. And also, they remain unaffected by change in tense of a sentence. So, what function is actually performed by non-finite verbs in a sentence? The non-finite verbs act as either a noun or an adjective or an adverb in a sentence. Okay, so let's understand this with the examples. Now, how a noun finite verb acts as a noun in a sentence. Take this example. Running is a good habit. Now, here, running is actually naming an activity. It is being used as name of an activity, and whenever it's a name of an activity, it is a noun. Okay, so the main verb here is, and running is actually a non-finite verb acting as a noun. The second example, the sleeping cat is brown. So now at the first go, to you all, sleeping will appear as a verb in the ing form. But actually, it is not acting here as the finite verb. It is describing what kind of cat, right? So, what kind of cat? The sleeping cat is brown. So, sleeping here is a non-finite verb acting as an adjective. Now, which is the main verb? The main verb here is. The third example, when a non-finite verb acts as an adverb. Alia went to Australia to study. Now, Alia went to Australia. Why? To study. So, since to study is answering to the question why, Alia went why? Okay, because it is adding meaning to the verb went, it is acting here as an adverb. So, very important to remember that non-finite verbs either are going to perform the function of a noun in a sentence, or an adjective in a sentence, or as an adverb in a sentence. Children, this brings us to the end of video part 1. I'll be sending a reference video also. So please do take off some time to watch that reference video. It will give you a better understanding about finite and non-finite verbs.